that know her.
Technically, I'm a witch.
Season 2, Vampy D's. Ash is vamp-splaining. Petey's learning about the bros, Stefan and Damon. Pete-dictions coming true. Founding fam's got a plan. Guess who's back in the falls with their eyes on her man's body stacking up? A lot of people H for B. Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries? Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast, where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a superfan who has seen every episode. I'm that guy. The titular Petey. Let's just say I put the Petey in Vampire, but please call me Pete, and I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash.
Hi, Vampire.
Hello.
I mean, Pete.
Yeah, please don't call me Vampire.
What's up?
Also, don't call me late for podcasting.
No, you're not. Always prompt.
Yes, I'm one of the first ones here. Ash, we're drinking blood.
Yes.
A.k.a. wine. And you know what's important in a wine to me?
What?
The screw-off top, which I think used to be a sign of, not
Like
classy.
It was cheaper, yeah.
But now it's ease.
Uh-huh.
You gotta have the screw-off top. That way you can drink it on the beach.
Well, that thing is, I mean, I like a corkscrew top, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're if you're going to stay at like an Airbnb or something like that,
yeah.
or a hotel room and you're bringing your own wine, gotta get the screw off top because you might not have a corkscrew. Mm-hmm. You gotta plan ahead.
An Air VPD.
Yeah.
You rent the thing and it's Vampire Diaries themed.
That's cool.
Man, we should do that.
Sorry, my legs are sore.
The best part, though, about the corkscrew, though, is it's the corkscrew guy. When you cork it off, is like a guy who's cheering, like, you're getting the cork out. Yes, you're doing it. Yeah, we're drinking wine.
Yeah, his arms are raised all the way at the top when you're done.
It's like a cheerleader. Congratulations, you're drinking wine.
Yeah, you did it. Now you're gonna get to drink it.
I'm sure people have made that observation before, but I loudly acted that out when I was unscrewing some wine a couple weeks ago for you.
Yeah, it's funny, and we haven't mentioned it on the pod, so that means it does not exist until now.
No, I've just spoken it into existence.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to say existence.
Pardon my French. Existence. I am from Netherlands. I was hanging out there with Damon.
Hey, listen, we got to get into this episode because there is so much going on.
Oh my gosh. Ash, season 2, episode 20. The last day. Mm-hmm. The last day of what? Ooh, of Elena's human life?
You just now thinking about that?
I never think of the title. When I do my little outline and I write the title and then I don't think about it again.
Until you pod.
Until I say it. And then I think about it.
Oh, okay, it's fine.
The last day.
The last day.
Cold open. More of a warm open, maybe. Damon's in bed. He's thinking of his nice bathroom. Mm-hmm. But he's listening to Stefan and Elena and Elijah downstairs or whatever. I actually don't know the footprint or the floor plan. Mm-hmm. Seems like it's downstairs.
Yeah, I think they're downstairs.
They're doing exposition, those three.
Yes, it's a heavily expeditioned beginning of this episode.
Expedition?
Yeah.
Exposition.
Expositioned.
Ah, yes. And I wrote in my notes, and you said aloud, exposition in the cold open?
Yeah.
What the heck? That's for the first scene after the title.
Right. I did say that, and you also wrote it.
Damon wants to kill Cloud. There's just too much. They had to put that stuff.
They had to put it ahead.
They were like, oh, are we going to have Damon being moody in his nice bathroom? No time.
No, we have to say everything that everyone needs to know.
Yep. Damon wants to kill Cloud. So he's listening. He just goes down there.
Yeah.
To talk to them. They're like, yeah, we know you can hear us. All right.
We have vampire hearing, and also we're in the same house.
Damon wants to kill Klaus today with Bonnie. Bonnie can't use that much power without dying. We know. She wants to do it anyway, probably.
He said he would write a nice eulogy.
Yes. And I said, I write great eulogies also, sadly.
I know. You write great everything.
That's true. You Googlies.
What?
Zoolander.
Oh.
Klaus must drink. We get some more info. Klaus must drink the blood of the doppelganger to the point of that doppelganger's death. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
They always said the doppelganger would die in the sacrifice or be sacrificed or whatever, but we didn't know exactly how.
We didn't know exactly
how.
Elijah has an elixir. Say that one time.
Nope.
At all. That possesses mystical properties of resuscitation.
Yes. But remember there was that flashback where he was telling Klaus that he didn't need to kill Catherine. He could save Catherine, and he could still break the curse.
Oh my gosh.
And Klaus was like, no, I don't care about her. I'm going to kill her anyways. But then Catherine turned into a vampire, and he killed Catherine's whole family, and then he's been searching for a doppelganger ever since.
Oh my gosh.
So he probably should have just listened to Elijah from the beginning.
I know. These correct brothers.
Yeah. But then Klaus would have been able to break the curse, and Catherine, a long time ago, and then Catherine would have been a human.
Yeah, she'd be
There's
dead.
so many things that could have been different if Klaus listened to Elijah.
There'd probably be no show. Just be two.
It'd be a very different show.
It'd be two humans that looked exactly the same 500 years apart. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
Which, maybe that happens to all of us.
It could.
The ring, okay, so they're like, use the Uncle Father John, living ring.
Like Alaric has one and Jeremy has one.
But the ring won't work on the doppelganger because she's supernatural, which, again, I didn't know that.
But nobody knew that, and also thank you, Elijah, for saying that, because what if Elena had tried to save herself with that ring at some point?
Oh my gosh.
Everyone would have been very disappointed.
So Jeremy's not even supernatural at all? He must feel bad. He's like, oh man. I guess I'll just be dead, she says.
Yeah.
Lol.
If the elixir doesn't work.
Yeah. And then they're like, in the scene, they're like, does Klaus have a werewolf? Cut to interim mayor Lockwood is calling Tyler like, oh, I've been in an accident. In that moment, she's lying, though. Mm-hmm. I'm in an accident. Come home. And it's Maddox, the witch, male witch. Warlock. Is making her lie, but then he doesn't like liars.
She said, why did I say that?
So he turns it into the truth. She did have a big accident.
He pushed her off of the stairs.
Yeah, and
it was a big fall.
She thumps once on the banister also.
Yeah. Oof.
It looks rough, I said.
Falling down the stairs is one of my fears for myself, but more than for me, for my children.
Yeah, and all y'all have fallen down the stairs.
I have.
To a certain degree.
I haven't fallen all the way down the stairs, but I have fallen down a few stairs a couple of times.
I said this is the biggest cold open ever, and I said this cold open was so long it got lukewarm.
It was heating up.
Yep. After the title, there is more exposition.
Yes, they continue.
Damon and Stefan do more plot. Elena is choosing to trust Elijah, and they have put their faiths in each other. Mm-hmm. And Damon is mad at that fact, and he's drinking fresh fine wines. Just kidding. Brothers bond. That's a little, that's a little, what's it called? Easter egg.
Yes.
For something later. All right. Elena.
You were like, don't talk about this.
Fresh fine wines.
And then you just brought it up.
Elena.
Stay tuned. Just
stay tuned. Elena wants to break the curse so Klaus doesn't hurt people. That's what she says.
Elena wants to break the curse so Klaus doesn't hurt people? Oh, because if they interfere with what Klaus is trying to do, then he's going to kill everybody.
Yeah, but as Super Klaus, He'll probably hurt so many people and have a whole race of people that are hurting people.
Don't you mean Santa Claus?
Santa Claus. He'll be naughty. Not nice. Right. She knows the chance she's taking that the elixir might not work. All of a sudden, Aunt Jenna has a crossbow pointed at Alaric.
Yeah.
And she makes him prove that it's really him.
Because the last time she saw Alaric, it was actually Klaus.
Yes.
And she's just sort of learning what's going on with all these people.
Mm-hmm. And the way that he proves it is he was like, one night when we were doing it, and she's like, stop talking about it.
Yeah.
And they were like, why is he still alive? Which, that was a good question. Mm-hmm. And he said, to deliver a message. The sacrifice happens tonight, which at that point I thought that all of a sudden he was going to die or something because, I mean, not really, but he should have. Because really, they're going to let him live. He knows so much.
But he has a ring.
Okay.
Alaric.
And they don't know that?
I mean, they don't show what happens when he wakes up.
Yeah.
With Klaus. I'm like, well, he has the ring. Klaus is using him for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's just a weird move on Klaus's part to let him live.
Yeah, he could definitely have killed him very easily.
He could have, texted that same message.
Oh, but he's very dramatic, don't you know?
Yeah. Interim Mayor Lady Lockwood is in the hospital, and Tyler is back in Mystic Falls.
And his hair is extra werewolfy.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
I noticed that, and I noticed that he was wearing the color
Gray.
brown.
Black.
He is wearing a members only style jacket because now he's a member
Of the pack.
of the pack. Or just that.
The
or just
leader of the pack.
Vroom, vroom.
That's a good song.
Matt and Caroline are flirty. They're at the grill. And then Caroline leaves and Sheriff Forbes is sitting right there.
Yes, Matt, when he's with Caroline, he does truly act like he's in love with her and everything. And then as soon as she walks away, he's totally changes his demeanor and it's like, oh.
Mm-hmm. There's a weird, we've seen a single shot like this where something happens and it pans over to something else,
Yeah, it usually happens in the grill.
In the grill, but I was thinking more P.T. Anderson or
I thought you were talking about in this show.
No, or Scorsese or whatever. Uh-huh. And everything's timed out and all this. But this was just kind of pan over there.
Yeah.
And she's just sitting there. And it's too close. It's not even panning across the whole grill. It's zoom.
Yeah, she's just right. But she was behind a wall.
Yeah.
But, yeah, in the grill they do that a lot where it's you go in and you see two people walking in and then it pans over and then that person becomes part of the next scene.
Yeah, just because everyone's takes
there.
every meal there.
Yeah, everyone's there.
Everyone eats every meal there and then also hangs out there and drinks.
Yeah.
Every day. No substitutions.
Small town.
Forbes is not into her daughter being a vampire and says she has no soul, no humanity, and any humanity Caroline has is an act.
That's what she said about all vampires, including Caroline.
And Matt's like, you should be worried about Damon, not Caroline. And then Forbes is like, Damon is a killer. He killed your sister. Mm-hmm. But she's not worried about him, really.
She's worried about all the vampires, and she's just trying to get information from Matt.
Uh-huh.
Because Matt's pretending to be compelled with Caroline. Mm-hmm. But Matt's kind of like, well, she's just acting like she always has. She might be a vampire, but she's just kind of regular. You should be more worried about Damon because he is the killer. She's not. But she's like, never mind, you're not helping me. Bye.
Yeah. She drops him. And also, she's like, I don't know what I was going to say. She doesn't need his help anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What I was going to say is maybe she just doesn't know her daughter. Not that her daughter's changed. Maybe she never knew her.
Well, that's what Caroline always was saying.
Boom.
Because her mom worked too much.
Very deep of me to say that.
Like you've been paying attention this whole time.
Alaric blacked out and woke up 3 days later.
Yeah, he doesn't remember anything that happened. He's like, what else did I do?
Seems like he was like one of the bros in The Hangover. The Fangover, maybe? Did he have a baby and a Bjorn with sunglasses for part of it or something? So Stefan fills Alaric in on what happened. Aunt Jenna is still mad. Mm-hmm. Elena goes to talk to Damon. Elena is optimistic, and she's like, "Oh, this will finally be over."
Yeah.
You
know how many times she says that?
I know, all the time.
She says it like every 5 episodes or something.
Every day.
All this will just be over if we do this.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Doesn't she know she has 6 more seasons of this left? And here was my pre-Pete-diction or mid-diction or something.
Mid-ep-diction.
Yeah. I said, I bet it will look like it's not going to work at the end of this episode. Then it will kind of work for all of the next episode. Then there will be a yeah, but moment that the next episode is about. Then it will get wrapped up in the finale. But then some new something will happen towards the end of the finale.
Isn't that just describing television?
It is. So I was like, Elena, don't you know television?
Come on.
Damon can't lose Elena, he says.
No.
And they do a lot of face work.
Oh, yeah. The brows are going.
Damon says there is another way, and he feeds her vampire blood.
Yes.
This was not cool. This was against her will.
A little R-E in a weird way.
If she dies, she'll come back a vampire.
Well, he was forcing her to do something she didn't want to do.
I know, it's terrible. It was non-consensual sucking.
Drinking or whatever. Not good.
Stefan comes in super mad. They get in a big fight.
Big fight.
The bros. And Damon stakes Stefan
in the stomach.
in the tum-tum.
Yeah.
Not in the heart.
And then Alaric tells Jenna, downstairs in the basement there's some blood bags, go get them. And she's like, okay. And she, but she's probably like, what do you mean blood bags? Also, ew, and what's happening?
Yes.
She's new to the scene. She's probably confused.
Oh, man. She learns about stuff and then... Elijah says the elixir won't work now.
Because now she has vampire blood in her system.
Yeah, Damon drinks some Brothers Bond. Elijah says to Damon that now Elena will never forgive Damon, and forever for a vampire is a very long time.
But also, this is just proves to Damon's character he's very impulsive. Mm-hmm. He acts out of his emotions, even though he always says his emotions are turned off.
Yeah, which he's
the big liar.
He's the biggest emo liar.
Yeah. But, man, he should have figured out what's going on with his elixir first. He should have asked a little bit more questions. He shouldn't have just done that. No good.
He does later admit he's wrong, though, which is a step.
Some growth a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Stefan drinks blood.
To heal from...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Alaric
the blood bag.
explains to Aunt Jenna, I should have known you could handle it, all this info.
Yeah, he was trying to protect her. I should have known you could handle it. She's like, can I?
And she's glad he's okay. And they smooch.
Yeah, they had a makeup moment.
And my note was, she can't resist his hairdo, because Klaus was like, I'm ready to get out of this hairdo.
Yeah.
That's how he talks. That's how he sounds. Stefan wants to take Elena on a day trip. Mm-hmm. Road trip with Damon, day trip with Stefan.
Yes.
Road trip with Damon, day trip with Stefan.
A tongue twister.
Tyler, my buddy Ty, and Jules, we definitely remembered her name, see Caroline outside of the hospital. They need to go get locked up before they become werewolves. It's a full moon.
She's like, hey, we need to go.
Jules has been helping Tyler be a werewolf. I believe Mason helped her
Right. And Caroline's there to check on Tyler's mom because even though she's a vampire, she's still nice.
She is. Tyler needs to leave town again, he says. But Maddox is there, smushing their brains.
Yep.
He grabs Tyler, and Caroline gets, like, something injected into her.
Vervain.
Oh, okay. Vervain is like the catch-all.
For vamps, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Liquid silver. Matt leaves a breathless voicemail for Caroline.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I forget what he's saying, though.
I don't remember that part.
He's being weird. Alaric and Damon.
Oh, he's like, oh, I thought you were going to meet me after work.
I thought you were going to meet me after work.
Because she didn't show up because she was captured.
Alaric and Damon are at the grill, and Damon knows he screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Klaus is at the bar, too.
And Matt is paying attention and listening. He's in the background. He's in the background,
okay.
like...
I think I was taking notes during that, but that makes sense for him why he shows up later.
Yeah, because he had just called Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
He's at work. She didn't show up. He sees Damon walk in. He knows Damon's a vamp.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, what's going on here?
Oh. Yeah, Matt was cool for doing that stuff later. Klaus is
Future
like,
Matt is cool.
yeah, future Matt. Don't do anything you'll regret. They get in each other's faces.
Klaus and Damon.
Klaus and Damon.
Yeah, Damon was so annoyed when he realized Klaus was Klaus.
Uh-huh.
He was like, ugh, like literally rolling his eyes. He's like, he must be Klaus.
Mm-hmm.
I like that part.
And
Like he should be like so afraid of him and like, but he's just like, ugh,
yeah.
I hate you. Also, I totally messed this whole thing up.
Klaus, I said, is so obsessed with his ritual, like, geez, chill out, bro. That's all he talks about.
Mm-hmm. He's like, well, I have my vampire. I have my werewolf. So don't you mess it up or I will kill you and everyone you know. Just like that.
That is a good impression of him. And Damon wants Alaric's help to mess up the plan.
I like that Alaric's just like, what do you need me to do?
Yeah. Alaric knows he's kind of skating on thin ice, knowing all these vampires. Mm-hmm. You just get killed all the time.
Yeah. But I like his friendship with Damon.
Me too. Alaric, he stuck around. Mm-hmm. He wasn't a 3-ep and done.
I know. I was like, Pete, bad Pete-diction.
I'm glad I'm not, like, getting penalized.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if I got rewarded. Stefan and Elena are on their day trip. They went hiking. Stefan brought her to a waterfall in the middle of the woods. And they're going to go to the top of the waterfall. Mm-hmm. Are there waterfall? I didn't even see kind of like a river or a place where the water was flowing into. It just kind of was like woods and then a waterfall.
It's there.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. But then Elena's like, oh, so far, can you just whoosh me up there? And he's like, no. It might be it's your last day as a human or whatever, so why cheat now?
Yeah. There'll be plenty of whooshing later. Mm-hmm. Catherine...
Oh, and the whole time he's like, just say it. Say it. Just tell me. Say what you want to say. Yeah. He says it like 100 times on this hike. Mm-hmm. Okay, Catherine.
Is looking for blood in Klaus's fridge. She's
Ain't got
still
nothing.
there.
Yeah.
And I guess it's Alaric's fridge, we learn. Alaric invites Damon in because it's his apartment.
Right.
They were in his apartment the whole time. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I didn't honestly ever really think about it.
Damon wants to kill Ty. I guess that's what he wants to do to mess up the plan.
Yeah, or let him escape or whatever.
Yeah. Klaus is going to sacrifice Caroline and Ty. Mm-hmm. Yikes. Catherine and Elena will be dueling vamps.
Oh, because she finds out. Yeah, so Damon tells her that Elena has vampire blood in her system and she'll be a vampire and you'll be dueling vamps over Stefan's love for all of eternity.
Oh my gosh.
Which that had to have been a little hard for Damon to say because neither one of those girls is trying to be with Damon for all of eternity. And he wishes they were.
I know, what a bummer.
It's sad.
Andy Starr was nowhere to be seen. Tyler and Caroline are in the tomb?
Yeah, the tomb.
So they get out of the tomb and then later go to the uncle basement?
Yes.
Okay. And you asked me why I was like cheesing last night when I was writing this note. I said, the tomb. That seems like a good place to lock Klaus up for a few hundos.
Agreed.
Trap him in there? The tomb has been known for trapping vampires?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But they don't stay trapped for long, we've also seen.
Yes, they did. They got trapped for like 300 years.
Well, the old vamps. But as of late, people that get trapped in there get out.
Yeah. Caroline and Tyler. Okay, so they're in the tomb, not the uncle dungeon.
At first, they're in the tomb. Yeah.
Okay. Tyler doesn't know who Klaus is.
Yeah, she's like, oh, Klaus is going to sacrifice us. What? Who's Klaus? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Caroline has to fill him in on everything. He has no idea.
Yeah. In something that I wrote, that I was revisiting recently, two people are trying to figure out where each of them fits into this story that's happening to them. Mm-hmm. And so one person's talking about something, and then one person's like, what? And the guy's just like, okay, wait, I'll fill you in, but tell me what you know,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happens. Mm-hmm. But mine, I self-referential and self-aware, that's a part of the story. I don't know.
Yeah, but what you're saying is quite vague for the listeners.
That's good. That's what they come here for. The vagueness. Elena and Stefan talk about her being a vampire, and she says she can't watch Bambi anymore. Why?
I thought that was weird.
She was like, there's so many things I'm going to miss out. One thing that I forget, and I can't watch Bambi anymore.
He was like, yeah, don't. Why? Because they want to eat the deer?
No, I don't know.
Maybe because they were saying how your emotions get really intensified.
That is what they start talking about.
Maybe you'll be too sad watching Bambi because it's already so sad.
Oh, okay.
Or
that is what they start talking about. Is Stefan starts talking about how so many of us turn off the emotions, which also we haven't really seen that. But the emotions become too overwhelming, and he's still trying every day to regulate his emotions. To which I said, "Same, bro, same."
Yeah, so I know quite a few people doing that.
Mm-hmm. Catherine is drinking hot coffee.
Yep, she found something to drink at least.
Mm-hmm. Klaus comes home, chokes her out, makes her take off her bracelet and walk to the window because he thought it was a Vervain bracelet.
It was her daylight bracelet.
Oh, yes.
So
okay.
he said, "Give me your bracelet," and he compelled her to go stand in the sun.
Well, compelled.
Right, but she's not compelled, so she has to do it anyways.
Yeah, so she's like,
And she's just standing there like, for way too long.
Yeah, and that was a test, and Catherine passed in both ways. She passed in Klaus's way, and also she passed for helping the crew.
I know, she does some bold stuff a lot of times.
She's bold. Damon is in the woods outside the uncle dungeon, I'm now calling it.
Okay.
Maddox is guarding it. Damon fights him. Then Matt snipes Maddox out of the blue. And then Damon quickly snaps his neck, I think.
Yeah. Because he shot him with wooden bullets, and so he was like, because he's not a vampire.
Yeah.
But Matt doesn't know.
No, he's just, yeah. I mean, it would still suck.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
Then Damon hits Matt with his own gun. He's like, psh.
Yeah.
Caroline tells Tyler about the curse stuff.
Right. And yeah, so Tyler's like, the curse of the sun and the moon isn't real, which that's important for him to know because he's a werewolf.
Mm-hmm. He should know everything about his affliction. Mm-hmm. All right, Ash, and I stopped, rewound, showed you some filmmaking technique.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so in film, TV, whatever, in shooting stuff, there's a 180-degree line, and you keep your camera on one side of that line, and the subjects that you're shooting on the other side. Mm-hmm. A lot of dialogue is shot in a reverse shot, so... Hey, I'm Caroline, blah, blah, blah. Shot on her. Hey, I'm Tyler, blah, blah, blah.
So that you can see that they're having a convo.
Yep, and their eyes point different ways, so it looks like they're looking at each other. That's just what your mind thinks and does when they do that.
Yeah.
So, but in this scene, they start it in a traditional reverse shot on one side of the 180-degree line. Mm-hmm. Then, in a shot on Tyler... They cross the 180-degree line with a pan. Mm-hmm. They move across his face with the camera, thus changing the 180 line. Mm-hmm. And then Caroline has changed eye lines. But then Tyler's eye line is still the same. So they're kind of both looking the same way. And it's unnerving a little bit, which that is used for that reason in movies, so they were doing that, I guess. But the stuff they were talking about in that moment didn't seem like I should be off balance like that.
Well, what they were talking about in the scene was that Caroline was like, why did you leave? Why didn't you say goodbye? Mm-hmm. And they were having like a logistical conversation at first, and then it got into like the emotional piece where he was like, you deserve better than me. Mm-hmm. And, whatever. So.
Yeah. Usually that camera move kind of like shows a power shift in the conversation or like something off balance. It definitely had like a mood shift. Yeah.
So I think it worked.
All right. You stan. But that was interesting. But then they both look at the door, and it's to get back to sort of traditional shots. But even that was kind of like quick cuts, and they look over, and that was kind of awkward as well.
Because Damon was there.
Damon walks in. Matt has a rifle with wooden bullets. He tells them.
Yeah, and Tyler's like, he knows, and Damon's like, he knows, and Caroline's like, no, he doesn't, and then Damon's like, all right, a tale for another time, out of here.
Yep, they need to get to the Lockwood cellar. Mm-hmm. Damon lets them out. Stefan and Elena, long episode, a lot going on. Well, actually, not a long episode, same amount of time.
Same length.
Just a million things going on. No music montages and glowering.
No, they didn't pan over signs of events for 5 minutes.
No, which that is my favorite part. All right, Stefan and Elena are at the top of a mountain. Stefan wants to be with Elena forever.
If it was his choice.
He tells her that Damon loves her.
Yeah, she's like, I can't believe Damon did that. I don't know why he would do it. She says this a couple times, and he's like, because Damon loves you. Whoa. People are speaking truths out this show.
Yep, at that top of the mountain of truth. And she says, I'm 17 years old. Mm-hmm. Lol. How am I supposed to know what love is and if I want to be a vampire? Mm-hmm. I don't even know if I want to go to tech or state, she says. Just kidding, she doesn't say that.
That would be good.
It's an emotional scene. Hash was getting wrapped up in the magic.
Yeah.
She wants to grow old and have a family. And I said she's getting her acting on.
It was a good scene, and it was emotional, but I feel like you can relate to the scene because, as humans, you think you have a lot of time to make decisions. And you're like, I don't know if I want to get married right now or have kids or when the time, like when these events are going to happen in my life. Uh-huh. And you'd never know, really. And then for some people, their lives are tragically cut short. Not usually by being turned into a vampire, but
that gets you cut long.
yeah, but like, some people just die tragically, and then they don't get to do those things either. And that's what was making me emotional.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm just like typing the whole time, so I don't get to fully get wrapped up.
I'm not like, oh man, now she won't be able to do those things because she'll be a vampire. I was just like, man, but no, people sometimes don't get to make those choices.
It's true.
It's sad.
Yeah. You only have one life to live. You gotta live it.
I know. And I feel like for me, I try to make like really conscious decisions and like think things out like way too much.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I feel like you gotta just like do things.
Like Nike said.
Yeah.
Swoosh.
Swoosh.
Swoosh around like a vampire, they said. She says she doesn't want to be a vampire, which is probably what Stefan was digging for.
Like, I know.
Mm-hmm. And nobody ever said, I want to be a vampire when I grow up. Right?
Maybe you.
No, I don't know.
Maybe that one guy I dated in high school that told me he was a vampire.
Mm-hmm. It's a full moon. Tyler is turning into a werewolf, and Matt is hurt. Stefan drives Elena back to her mansion in his school car. Klaus is there. Klaus has kind of a Charlie Hunnam accent without the impediment. Good accent.
Yeah.
Handsome blokes.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you had me worried for a minute.
Stefan.
But he does have like a chill vibe, even though he's like,
Oh, yeah.
An original
Evil.
Vampire, and he's, yeah.
Oh, yeah, except I don't like that he's so modern.
But he's not as modern. I mean, he's been, like, he's not going to stay that old. He's going to grow with the times.
Yeah, he's not a typical vampire. He's a cool vampire.
But I feel like he's been searching and everything for so long that he can wait like an extra 5 minutes and it's not a big deal.
Do he and Elijah have the same accent? Not really.
Not exactly.
They're bros.
They have different dads.
Ah. Oh, yes. Stefan is sad as Elena goes with Klaus. They love each other.
That was sad too. Stefan was so sad.
And they kiss, and I said Klaus should be awkward with their smooching. He's just standing there. Elena tells Stefan to close his eyes, and then she's gone.
Mm-hmm. I don't like when Stefan's hand was just like reaching out for too long. I'm a big fan of Stefan, but I think his hands are like maybe little or something about his hands don't seem right to me. Mm-hmm. So I don't like to focus on his hands very much.
No. Stefan is looking for Damon. He calls him on the telephone. Mm-hmm. And I said, Damon has a BlackBerry because he's all about business.
Yeah, it's true.
Tyler has some gross wolf moments where like his wrist is bending weird.
Mm-hmm. And like the cracking sound of the wolf transition is so gross.
Also, I said, did he bite Damon? I knew it. I knew he bit Damon.
And he also does some very intense yoga moves.
Yeah, he's just like, downward dog.
No, that's up dog.
Oh, up. What's up dog?
He did a very intense up dog. And he did like some cat-cow moments. But it's all like... It's so gross. He transitions way faster now that he's been a werewolf for a bit.
Yes. Klaus is about to live stream his ritual.
Is that what you thought?
He's got a camera on somebody. Yeah.
That's funny.
Damon comes in. He was invited in earlier.
Right.
He killed his witch and saved the other supernatural beings. He killed Klaus's witch.
Yeah, he's like, I asked you to wait. You didn't, so I did these other things.
Klaus tells Catherine to buzz off.
She's like, yes, please.
Klaus heard about Damon, in love with his brother's girl. I knew one of you would try to stop me. And he's like, you need a closer look, and hands him his phone. Mm-hmm. And he's like, use my MiFi to watch this live stream.
Well, yeah, he first shows him like his iPad or whatever, and then he shows him his phone, which was weird. He's like, why does he have to look at this twice?
Klaus has Jules locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Backup werewolf, witch, and vampire.
He's got 2 sets of everyone except the doppelganger.
And I thought his backup vampire was Damon.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
They set it up to make you think it was Damon in this scene, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Matt and Caroline lock themselves in the Uncle Dungeon. Tyler, my buddy Ty, is a wolf trying to get in there.
Yeah. And Caroline's like, Tyler, it's me. And he's just like, rah, 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 rah.
It's me, Caroline. Don't come in. Don't huff and puff.
No, he's trying to break in. Matt's like seeing a werewolf for the first time. His best friend turned into a werewolf.
Yeah, he's like, whoa. Elena is with Luca's sister.
Yeah, we find out that this other witch is Luca's sister.
Jenna is lying on the ground, and she's a vampire now.
In transition.
Dang, I wrote, dang.
I mean, someone gave her vampire blood and killed her. And and then as she wakes up, then she's a vampire.
Oh my gosh.
Like Vicky.
She had a big day.
I know.
Poor Aunt Jenna. She should have stayed in the dorm.
Yeah, they tried to call her and tell her to. She didn't. She was like, but I'm already in my kitchen. Remember?
Yes, I do. She's going to be doing her thesis on blood. Her dorm better have a coffin in it. Right?
Have you seen any of these vampires sleeping in coffins, Pete?
Who's her professor? Dr. Acula?
That's actually pretty good.
I think it's an old Mitch Hedberg joke. He's like, I went to the doctor. He tried to suck blood from my neck. Remember how he used to talk? Right. Anyway. Yeah, don't go to doc. I can't believe I'm quoting Mitch Hedberg. That's the most bro college thing to do. But here we are. We're creating content.
Well, I'm not quoting him.
Daddy's making some content. I'm quoting Bo Burnham. All right. Klaus couldn't use Damon because he got bit by a werewolf.
No.
I said they're pulling out all the stops.
And what do we know about werewolf bites?
They kill vampires.
Yeah, we've seen it happen.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, Bonnie's gonna have to come with the power of 100 dead witches.
She's got a lot of work to do.
She's gonna have to suck the bite out of Damon's arm with magic.
All right, don't Pete Dick yet. Come on, finish up.
That's the end. I'm Pete-dicting.
Oh, okay. Well, we usually have to do fangs and then Pete-dicting.
I'm Pete-dicting.
Okay, go for it.
The things I already said. Elena will not be a vampire. My mid-Pete-diction of how TV works stands. That will happen.
Okay.
And I think it's on track, right? It looked like it was gonna not work, but now it looks like it's gonna work.
But there's these other things that will happen.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think Damon was gonna get bit and all that stuff.
And Aunt Jenna.
Did not think about that at all. There are many wrenches in this plan.
Yeah, and Jeremy and Bonnie are just hiding out this whole time, but everyone else is doing a lot.
Oh yeah, Jeremy and Bonnie are just watching their MiFi.
Yeah.
They're live streaming.
I hope they brought a way to charge all their technology.
Seriously. I mean, yeah. Will Lark take a couple of eps off? No. He's going to be in the mix. He's going to... Man, hey, a lot of his ex-ladies and... Well, I guess just a lot of ladies he's involved with become vampires.
Yeah.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
We got 2 more eps.
Yes, 2 more episodes of the season. Wow.
I think
They're
you
going to
said
be action-packed.
I know. You had a lot of good Pete-dictions. What are your fangs?
2 fangs.
2 fangs.
So good.
So good.
2 fangs.
So good.
Ash, that's about it for this episode for me. I got nothing else.
That's good. No, there was so much. I feel like we still need to keep thinking about it.
Yeah. I think the next 2 episodes will be action-packed. We'll be back next week.
Yes.
If you need us before then, at High Dive Publishing on Instagram, at Peter L. Harmon on Instagram.
I need to think of more outro things to say. I don't know. I keep running out of things to say.
Okay. Well, start thinking now.
I know. I usually do. That's why when you speak about your things, I just have blank eyes because I'm trying to think about what I should say.
If you like the Vampire Diaries and or you are a young adult, you should check out my young adult book series, The Happenstances, at tinyurl.com/The Happenstances. If you like spookies, I have a horror anthology called Horror from the High Dive. Me and 12 other writers contributed spooky stories in one poem.
They're very good stories.
It is. People need to buy this book a lot more, I think.
I agree. Maybe they're just not ready to be scurred yet. They want to have their beach read right now.
Oh, so get that Happenstances.
Yeah.
That's the beach read. And then, you know what? It is almost... Spooky season is approaching. We're under 100 days.
I feel like once you get to September, you can start doing spookies.
Oh, yeah.
But
So,
August, just keep doing the happenstances.
yeah, hold on to summer nostalgia for as long as you can. And, okay, tinyurl.com/H from the HD horror from the High Dive. And, hey, rate and review the podcast. We love that. And we will see you next week, or maybe a bit earlier than next week.
The only outro I could think of was, "It's getting hot in here."